This is the reorganization meeting of the Township of Franklin Sewerage Authority for Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. My name is Eric Bernstein. I'm General Counsel to the Authority and temporary chairperson during this reorganization. This meeting has been called in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, also known as the Open Public Meetings Act of the Sunshine Law. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the giving of notice to the Courier News, posting the agenda in the public lobby of the authority's general offices on 70 Commerce Drive at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Delivery of this notice to the Franklin Township Clerk at least 48 hours prior to this meeting, and mailing notice to those persons properly requesting to be mailed notification of meetings at least 48 hours prior to this meeting. Dr. Roach, we could call the roll call again, please.
Yes. Mr. Alcazar.
Present.
Mr. Van Berenson.
Here.
Ms. DeVoe.
Present.
Ms. Ford.
Here.
And Ms. Francois.
Sorry, I'm mute. Here.
I'd also like the record to reflect that the Executive Director, Joseph Danielson, is present, as well as Michael McClellan and Will Karasak from CME Engineering, and Brian Hack from my office. First order of business, members of the board, is the nomination of a chairperson for the period of February 7th, 2022, 2023, I wish it was 2022, February 7th, 2023, through the reorganization meeting of this board in February of 2024. Are there any nominations?
I will say it has been an honor serving with everyone over these past couple of years. I have had such a pleasurable experience working with all of you. I've learned a lot, I've gained a lot of knowledge, so I just wanted to start off by thanking everyone for the past couple of years. At this time, I would like to nominate Commissioner Teresa Ford for chair.
Is there a second for Commissioner Ford's nomination?
Seconded.
Eric, you do realize you don't need a second with nominations, right?
We generally do, so in the absence, I'll take it anyway, and then the chair can not have them going forward.
I didn't mean to be.
I appreciate the comments, Joseph, as always. The second was by Commissioner Van Berenson. Are there any other nominations for chair other than Ms. Ford? Hearing none, do I have a motion to close nominations?
Motion to close nominations.
Second.
Okay. All in favor of closing nominations signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Hearing none, roll call. Dr. Roach for the appointment of Teresa Ford as chairperson of the Franklin Township Sewerage Authority.
Mr. Alcazar.
Yes.
Mr. Van Berenson.
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe.
Yes.
Ms. Ford.
Yes.
Ms. Francois.
Yes.
With that, congratulations, Commissioner Ford, on becoming the chairperson of the authority. I turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you.
Are there any nominations for the vice chairperson?
I nominate Commissioner Rom and Berenson.
Are there any other nominations?
I move that the nominations be closed.
April, can you please call the roll?
Okay. Mr. Alcazar.
Yes.
Mr. Van Berenson.
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe.
Yes.
Ms. Francois.
Yes.
And Chairwoman Ford.
Yes. Congratulations, Commissioner Embarrassment.
Thank you, thank you, Chairwoman.
Okay, let's move on to the nomination for Secretary Treasurer. Are there any nominations for that position?
I nominate Mr. Alcazar.
Are there any other nominations?
I move that the nominations be closed.
April, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. N. Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Yes. Okay, now for the nomination for Assistant Secretary Treasurer. Are there any nominations for that position?
I think we gotta nominate the guy who's not present.
Eric, we table that nomination until Commissioner Schmidt is present.
I don't have a problem. Just for the purpose of the record, Madam Chair, Mr. Schmidt is currently the Assistant Secretary Treasurer. So just for future reference, if the desire is to continue this nomination, I would just leave it open until a point in time where the potential victim is present to take on his so-called punishment. So I
Thank you
wouldn't
for
table.
that.
I wouldn't table. I would just carry it to when Mr. Schmidt arrives, either today or the next meeting.
Okay, well then I ask to carry it.
Thank you.
Now moving to the resolution for the appointment of consulting engineer, CME Associates. Is there a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Second. April, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. N. Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Yes. Resolution regarding an appointment of auditor, Hodelick and Morrison, PA, a division of PKF O'Connor Davies. Is there a motion?
So moved, Francois.
Second. Ram.
April, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. N. Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Ford,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and then Chairwoman Ford.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next resolution is the appointment of General Counsel Eric M. Bernstein and Associates, LLC. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion, please.
Okay, is there a second?
Seconded.
Second.
April, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. N. Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Yes.
Thank you, members of the board, for reappointment.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Moving to the resolution for the official depository TD Bank. Is there a motion for that?
Motion,
So
Jesus.
moved.
Second.
Second.
April, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. N. Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Yes. Regarding the resolution for the signatures for the bank, Is there a motion for that?
Motion, Jesus.
Second?
Second, DeVoe?
Abel, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. Ann Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Yes. Regarding the resolution for the official newspaper, the Courier News, is there a motion?
Motion, Jesus.
Second?
Second, Ram?
April, please do the roll call.
Okay. Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. Ann Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Yes. Regarding the resolution to reauthorize the petty cash fund, can I get a motion for that?
Motion.
Second.
Is there a second? Second? Okay. April, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. Ann Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Yes. Now, the resolution regarding the reappointment of April L. Roach as the QPA Qualified Purchasing Agent, is there a motion for that?
Motion.
Second, Jesus.
Second? April, please do the roll call.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. Ann Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Ms. Ford. Chairwoman Ford,
Yes.
give me a whole meeting to get used to that.
Me too, yes. And the next resolution regarding the reappointment of April L. Roach as the Public Agency Compliance Officer. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
April, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. Ann Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Yes. Regarding the resolution for bond counsel services. Can I get a motion for that?
Do we have a name for bond counsel?
One second.
Willens.
That should
Len
be,
Len Spitzer?
Lance, Everett Johnson.
Okay. Len Spitzer.
So moved,
Willens.
Francois.
Is there a second?
Second?
April, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. Ann Berenson, Vice Chair, you're muted. Ann Berenson?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Francois,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Yes. Can you give me one, please? Regarding the resolution for financial consulting services. Is there a motion?
If I
Motion.
may, that would be with Northwest Financial.
Second, DeVoe?
April, please call the roll.
Mr. Alcazar,
Yes.
Mr. Ann Berenson,
Yes.
Ms. DeVoe,
Yes.
Ms. Francois,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Ford.
I'm having a bit of difficulty. 1 second, okay?
I'm hearing a lot of feedback noise. Is it just me hearing that, or is everybody else hearing it?
Yeah,
I'm
we're hearing.
hearing it too.
Okay.
Okay. 1 second. Move on to the committees. 1 second. Currently in the committees for negotiation personnel, Commissioner Anderson and Commissioner Schmidt. We have municipal liaison, Commissioner Francois. We have construction, Commissioner Ambarenson and Chairwoman Ford. We have safety, Commissioner Alcazar and Commissioner Schmidt. Now I ask, with that in mind, our commissioners, with regard to negotiation personnel, is Commissioner Ambarenson willing to serve again on that committee?
Yes, I am.
With regard to
And
municipal,
who do you have for construction?
Sure.
sorry, Commissioner Ambarenson, are you also willing to serve on construction?
Yes.
Regarding municipal liaison, Commissioner Francois, are you willing to serve again on that committee?
Yes.
Regarding safety, Commissioner Alcazar, are you willing to serve again on that committee?
Yes.
And then I'll ask that we table asking Commissioner Schmidt because he's not here tonight. So you can ask him at the next meeting.
Chairwoman, can you just run down that list one more time, real quick?
Yes, I can. Negotiations personnel, Commissioner Ambarenson and Commissioner Schmidt. Municipal liaison, Commissioner Francois. Construction, Commissioner Ambarenson and myself. Safety, Commissioner Alcazar and Commissioner Schmidt.
Eric, I think your microphone is doing something because I see.
Yeah, Eric, I keep putting you on mute just to stop the noise. There you go. Perfect.
Okay, is there a motion to open for public comment?
So moved. Ram.
Second?
Then,
Okay. Hearing no public comment, is there a motion to close public comment?
so moved. Francois.
Second, Jesus.
The motion carried. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion,
moved.
Jesus.
Moved.
Is
Second
there a
vote.
second? Okay. Time is 6:24 p.m. We're going to move on to the regular meeting. 1 second.
I know I'm muted. April, did we notice the reorganization to follow, or is it at 6:30?
It was noted to follow immediately after the
Okay.
open, the
All
reorg.
right. Thank you. Chairwoman, I'm going to drop off in a couple of minutes. I unfortunately have to be somewhere else. I'm leaving Brian in charge.
Okay.
He doesn't need a bodyguard. If I drop off, I apologize and congratulations to all, and I will mute myself.
Thank you. Just give me 1 second, please.
So Eric, you're now general counsel, but that means you're also not specific counsel.
You couldn't wait till after I muted myself to say those words, didn't you?
You're not specifically counsel, you're just general counsel.
I'm general, but I'm not specific.
Okay.
I know a lot of nothing. All right.
I run into that problem when I go to the general store. They don't let me buy anything specific.
I can see that I can see you have a new writer.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting, the regular meeting to order. It is now 6:26 p.m. April, can you call the roll, please?
Yes. Mr. Alcazar,
Here.
Mr. Ann Berenson,
Here.
Ms. DeVoe,
Here.
Ms. Francois,
Here.
and Chairwoman Ford.
Here. And now can we say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag
flag
of
of the United States of America
and to
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty
And justice for
and
all.
justice for all.
for all. In accordance with the provisions of Chapter 231 New Jersey Public Laws of 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the giving of notice to the Courier News, posting the agenda in the public lobby of this building 48 hours prior to this meeting, delivery of this notice to the Franklin Township Clerk at least 48 hours prior to this meeting, and mailing notice to those persons properly requesting to be mailed notification of meetings at least 48 hours prior to this meeting. Is there a motion to open the meeting for public comment?
Motion, Jesus.
Second.
Second? So moved. Hearing no public comment, is there a motion to close the meeting for public comment?
Motion to close.
Second, DeVoe.
So moved. 1 second. You give me 1 second, okay?
In the interim, I will note the minutes to reflect that Howard Madison has joined our meeting at 6:28 p.m.
At this time, I'd like to accept the motion, the minutes of the working session for the monthly board meeting on January 3rd. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second, Jesus.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay. Motion is approved. Now we move on to the executive summary. Bill Danielson.
You're muted.
I'm not used to muting. Okay, thank you, Chairwoman. Under legal, we did there was a lot of activities. from the legal services. We worked on the Marcy Street contractor issue. The High Bay Garage project, which is moving along, we dealt with the legal issue of them in contract with us to provide us a partially enclosed building, and we found out what they delivered was an enclosed building. We could talk about that on the projects. We worked on resolutions and developers agreements, personnel issues, specifically the foreman's position, bankruptcy supplemental submittal, getting ready for a hearing date of February 22nd, and the PSC&G issue, the resolution to finalize the memo of understanding to be voted on, I believe, tonight, and that falls under the project for the Weston Canal Pump Station Phase 4. That covers all the legal services. Regarding the Marcy Street sewer shed rehabilitation, I changed the status of this project to red. It might not be so red as I think, but I just want to be transparent with everybody. Our contractor, Joe Med, is in the midst of submitting claims against his subcontractor, National Water Main, for not performing the work. We're in a position where, we see our contractor that we're in contract with not performing the work. We sent a demand letter to the contractor to finish the project, reminding them of the damages he's faced. That contractor is now, as we speak, within the last several minutes, sending an email trying to schedule another meeting to kind of finalize this. We've had meetings, I've had conversations with all the stakeholders, including the contractor, but this project might go into further significant delay, or it could be completed by the end of the month. I don't know, but just for transparency, I put this project in red. East Millstone Pump Station Rehabilitation project is basically completed. We did at the end observe a leak between the building and the foundation. That is getting addressed by the manufacturer, and currently the closeout items are being addressed. The High Bay Garage, as I mentioned under legal, we have an issue. So partially enclosed building, you should know, is a more formal building in structure than an enclosed. The contractor made a mistake, and the building they ordered for us and delivered and began installing was an enclosed building, which doesn't have the same strength and protections. So we need a partially enclosed. So we're working through them reinforcing the building and the different extra costs that may or may not be associated with that. I feel very confident that our engineer, CDM, who's been managing this project with me, and the contractor will come to a mutually agreeable solution. I don't think I need to change the status of this project based upon my confidence level. Since last month, we poured the foundation. It's been cured, and the structural steel members have been erected. Much of them, not all of them, but the major ones have been installed. And but right now, I just need to report that there was a work stop order issued by the manufacturer, by the contractor to the subcontractor. And once we come up with a final plan, it will continue and move quite quickly. Somerset Street Pump Station Rehabilitation. We do have a resolution is needed for the executive director to execute the TWA that on behalf of the authority. I will be asking for a resolution, I guess, April, correct me if I'm wrong, next meeting, if we could pass a resolution that will generally authorize me to execute these TWAs. And TWA is an agreement between us and either the Middlesex County Utility Authority or the New Jersey DEP. But I need to be able to sign those documents and quickly. But in this case, they're asking for a resolution showing that I'm authorized to execute that agreement. So that's what tonight's resolution is. But instead of coming back every time I have to sign one of these or provide a resolution, if I could, I think it's probably best that I just do a general resolution that authorizes the position.
You're
Yes.
correct, Joe. We do have one for tonight, and I'm already working with Brian Hack on the one as a standard blanket. It's already a draft for next
All right.
meeting.
For next meeting?
Yep.
Okay,
But you
so
can move forward with your one for tonight.
okay, so all right. So CDM, I spoke to CDM Engineering today, and they are I've submitted the procurement docs today. He has assured me he's going to speak with Alexandra of NJDEP to expedite the review of that, and hopefully that will be moving and we'll catch up to the Brookline Avenue rehabilitation, which is the sister project. And regarding that sister project, we did receive the authorization to advertise by the NJDEP, and I believe CME can correct me if I believe we need an addendum to the contract to incorporate the lateral replacements.
That's correct, Mr. Director. That's
All right, very good. Jumping down to the Weston Canal Pump Station, Phase 4, we did revise the concept plans and the site plan basically in response to the appraisal we got for the value of that property. So we reduced the footprint by 40%. We realigned the piping and the flows. It actually is a better plan than the original anyway, so that was good. We had a meeting with the engineer, our legal team, and the appraiser to revisit the approach to evaluating the value of this land, so we could finalize an appraisal. And we're also addressing the Delaware and Raritan Canal Commission's impact on the 200-foot setback relative to our new site plan and footprint. Commerce Street Drive Pump Station, the TWA response comments were sent to NJDEP. NJDEP rejected, God forbid, they rejected our estimating flood hazard area opinion. This could add another 2 or 3 months to this project. Hopefully, I believe, I think, Mike, you sent me the DEP's contact of the person who rejected.
Yeah, Will Carosik said that's right.
Yeah. Before I fully accept that, I'm maybe, I'm gonna try to talk to that person myself. I can't understand why they would reject it. The footprint of the pump station, which is literally right across the road from us, is not changing. The footprint's not changing, the scope's not changing, the impact's not changing, and the only thing that's changing that you would detect on the outside is if we're lifting it up a little bit. And they want us to do this whole flood hazard area evaluation, which is, in my opinion, total waste of money and time. So I'm going to get on that tomorrow. The next project, the windows and doors replacement of the campus, the 2 buildings on campus here. We did receive the windows on January 26th, and they have been installed on both buildings. There's still remaining some minor repairs and masonry repairs. There may be a reinstall needed. We'll see that. We'll see what how that concludes. We do have a punch list of items that they've already began working on, and we still expect the door delivery to happen in March. This is again one of these projects. I have to give a big thank you and appreciation out to Scott, who's been overseeing the minute details of the construction and the material, and so much so he noticed these. I would have never noticed them. These little scratches in the support members, and in some cases the glass, which the manufacturer and the contractor are going to address to our satisfaction. Okay,
Here,
that's all I have on the vendor summary and project summary list. The Chairwoman, I'll just run into the Executive Director's report from here. For the previous month, we received in checks that we deposited in a bank $2,211,506.96. Year to date, we collected $9,370,162.60. We have an open balance due of $12,069,039.95. Let me say that again: $12,060,739.95. The penalties for July, I'm sorry, the penalties for January, my report says July, it's a typo. The penalties for the last month are $7,480, which is very below average. Average is around 13,000, 14,000. So that's a good sign. Expense report, expenditures for the month ending in December 31st is $471,050.88. Year to date expenditures is $6,884,033.08. That is a 52% of our budget, and we're about 60% through the calendar year. So our estimates in the beginning of the year are right on target. Actually slightly better than on target, but pretty darn close. Cash position under the category of unrestricted, we have $826,500.07. Under restricted, we have $13,854,384.07. Under designated, we have $2,993,551.28. We have a total cash position about the same as at the end of the previous month, which is $17,674,435.42. And this is as of December 31st. Under the budget address, the budget process is beginning this month. That begins with getting our financial consultant on board with us and receiving the estimated budgets from our respective departments. That's administration, maintenance, and then we put personnel and the cost of providing services along with our capital appropriations program together. And that's beginning now. Under the audit, our 2022 process does continue. We do expect to do a draft presentation of the audit at our next meeting in March. Projects, we discussed the only one that's super noteworthy was the Marcy Street, which we covered. PSC&G, that project is hinging on us obtaining the land that we need from PSC&G via an easement that we will lease to them, for example, for maybe 99 years, and putting a valuation on that land. And if that valuation is something that we could digest relative to the overall cost of that project, we will move forward with obtaining that land. If not, we're going to have to revert to our original approach to this project and utilize the land that we have now and just raise the pump station up 7 to 9 feet. Jumping down to internal engineering, we had 8.8 connections for the month, and we had the technical review committee had 7 applications that were reviewed and submitted to the township. Under staffing strength, the position of foreman has been completed. The promotion was offered and accepted by one of our current employees. Very happy that we've done that. We're moving forward. The position of receptionist will begin, the search and advertisement will begin probably this week. We'll be having a managers meeting again to revisit the staffing levels based upon the promotion and vacancies that we have now. Something we worked on actually in the fall was basically recruitment and retention. And one of the things that was holding the authority back in recruiting was our practice of requiring retiree health benefits for certain people to only take, specifically the union, for union positions, that you only qualify for retiree health benefits if you're here for 25 years, where other agencies out there are not requiring that they base it upon your years in the pension system. And that has hindered us from having the ability to recruit other people from other agencies with critical experience levels. So it was previously approved by the board. The attorney worked out a resolution or an agreement. Somehow it fell through the cracks, but I have since sent that agreement to the union. If they sign it, we could vote on it, and we'll be able to hire people, and that won't require us to start that person on the lowest pay scale of the union. If anyone has any questions of that, I can go into it further, but that's basically it. So instead of being an entry-level position, we can hire them at a level that's commensurate to their experience and their value, and what we need at that time of hiring. Southbound Brook, our crew did go into Southbound Brook to perform storm sewer work for them. Let me just stress that it was storm sewer work, not sanitary sewer. The New Brunswick water and sewer bill, that was finalized several months ago. We did receive our first invoice from them, which had an error. CME caught the error and fixed it, and we'll be making our first payment to them. I'm gonna note that this payment was drastically reduced from years past. If you recall, we were paying New Brunswick well over $1 million a year for services, and because of the Somerset Street pump station, Rodney Avenue pump station, and the fact that we redid the contract, it went from $1.4 million down to probably going to be $120,000 a year. So let me just stress that. From 1.4 million, now we're down to about 120,000. So
that's amazing. Good job.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. I mean, my job was only finalizing the new agreement and getting it to be manageable. Everything else was done before I got here. But thank you. Somerset County grants. There's a big grant waiting for us in Somerset County. I've reported on this several times. I'm now told that their grant awards will be made in this month, in the month of February 2023, either on the 14th or the 28th. So I expect that grant to be well over $1 million, possibly several $1 million. That's it for remarkable. Under standard resolutions tonight, we have payroll, operating expense, general fund, renewal and replacement, and escrow. No North Track. These are just standard everyday resolutions. Under additional non-standard resolutions, we have a resolution for the disability benefits renewal, the PSE&G memo of understanding and memo of intent. The removal of account 03150.00 and removal of account 10002.00. And we have a resolution for the TWA authorizing me to execute with the DEP for the Somerset Street pump station. And the final resolution for a developer's agreement for the mosque on Cedar Grove. For Under operations, the pump station maintenance inspection, nothing major to report. PSC&G did work on the Ronnie Avenue pump station involving the emergency generator. Inspections, we did 4 industrial, 2 business, mixed use. Sewer line maintenance flush, we're at the 94% completed in the 2-year program. This month we did 49,000, over 49,000 linear feet. The work in Southbound Brook on their storm sewer was 2.5 days of 2 staff members cleaning their storm drains. PO was received and an invoice sent. There have been no accidents in the authority's maintenance division. All AEDs were inspected. The first quarter backflow device inspections were completed. Annual fire extinguisher and overhead hoist, crane trucks, all those inspections were completed as well, in addition to the truck lift inspection. I want to just take this moment to show the board some of the work that is being completed by our maintenance crew. If you just bear me 1 second. If you could see this photo. Did everybody see that photo?
Yes.
So I had the pleasure of visiting a pump station. I haven't really done this in the past, but lately I've been visiting the work sites of our crew. What we're looking at is a 6-mile run pump station. This is, I'm guessing, 25 feet into the ground, a concrete hole. What you're looking here is these guys have basically disassembled these massive pumps, volutes, and gearbox and motors. They're doing all the work themselves. We're not using any outside vendors. What you see is our new foreman right here with his arms around the gearbox and pump. One of the things he's going to be doing with this is he'll bring this back to the garage, and he's actually he and his crew are going to disassemble this entire gearbox and pump and rebuild it all on their own with no outside help whatsoever. Scott and his crew made sure this brown device down here, that's basically a volute that was custom manufactured as a replacement. They don't normally make them anymore. This was installed 37 years ago. We probably won't be alive the next time it has to be replaced. They figured out how to disassemble this, rebuild it, reassemble it, and get it working again. And as they're doing this, not only does it keep this thing running, but it also is saving us on electricity, emergency time, overtime. I'm just showing you different moments in time of this repair work. And here, this picture here that you're looking at, they installed the gearbox on top of the volute, the gearbox and pump, and this blue device right here is the electric motor that actually turns it and gets the flow going up in those massive pipes. So I was thoroughly impressed with what Scott is running over there and what these guys are doing. They teach themselves. They're figuring out there's no customer service or tech support to call. These guys, when they order these parts, they got to think of everything, because when that 2,000-pound clump of metal shows up, they got to figure out how to get it to fit these parts. And they do it. So, and they're doing this in a sewer pit. which isn't always the most pleasant environment to work in. And just proud that I have access to talk to these guys when they're doing it. So I didn't stay too long, and I didn't want to bug them, but it was impressive. I was intimidated when I first went down there and watched them just disassemble that all. And they didn't even look stressed. I mean, no one's touched these devices in 37 years, but they operated like, they do this every day. I'm just, I just, if any of the board members ever has a day off and you want to be impressed, let me know. I gotta let you guys watch these guys operate. It's just, it's impressive. Chairwoman, that concludes my presentation.
Chairwoman, I have a
Thank you.
question.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Francois?
Yes, so I have a question. Can I ask it?
Absolutely.
So, Joe, you mentioned that there was a Somerset County grant is going to come out sometime in February. Did you put in an application for a grant? What was it for, and what was the amount?
So the application did not include an amount. The commissioners are going to decide on the amount. I had to present them a need
Mm-hmm.
for the money, and they're going to tell me how much they're going to give us to it. Well, so I picked a project that had a big number. I used the Brookline Somerset Street project because I had that going. I could have done the Western Canal, but we haven't really formalized that project. That project's going to be 3 times the amount, but it's not formalized. The one project to formalize is we're in the middle of it now. Right now is Brookline Somerset Street. So I sent them that, and so far I've been getting courtesy wink, wink, nod, nod. It's coming, and the amount changes kind of every time I talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking 1.5 million to 3.5 million range.
Okay.
That's,
Thank you.
That's what I'm thinking. Does anybody want to see any photos of the high bay garage? No? Okay.
Thank you very much, Executive Director. We're moving on to committee reports. For negotiations and personnel, are there any updates?
Chairwoman, I'll just remind the board again, you usually mention this every month, we are heading into the end of the union contract. So the personnel committee is going to need to start meeting with the union. I have some topics to discuss with the union. I prefer to discuss them before the personnel committee gets started. So I'll be meeting with them. Scott and I will be meeting with them on Friday. We're going to have a casual luncheon, pizza lunch on Friday. And I'm going to just have this, casual sit down with the union reps on Friday to talk about, let me figure out my calendar, just some topics I wanted to discuss with them. I put it in a list. It's basically training. Hold on. Bear with me just one second. Training, growth, opportunities, and incentives. I don't see that, and I don't intend to be part of the contract or your negotiations, but it's just a discussion I kind of want to umbrella the contract negotiations with. And this is in the spirit of retention and recruitment and business continuity. And I'll give you an example. Training is very important. So, Scott here, he's a C4. We have a C3 that is just promoted to foreman. But we need to keep that forward motion of certifications continuing. When it stops, it becomes stagnant, it puts us at a risk of business continuation. So if something happens to Scott, or if he leaves, or if everybody leaves, where do we go from there? We need a skilled staff in the operations, evidenced by those photos I showed you. So I'm looking to have a conversation on how can we inspire them to continue always taking training, always getting your next certification. How can these people grow in their jobs? What are the opportunities? And if we have to incentivize them, I would like them to kind of give input on that. So it's very important. Scott, do you want to add anything?
No, I think you touched on all of it, Joe, and we'll have that discussion on Friday.
Yeah. So, and full transparency, I do want to have that conversation started before Rom and Commissioner Embarrasson and Commissioner Schmidt begin talking with the union, just so we can get an attitude and a temperature of the environment.
Understood.
I have a question, Joe. I think last year or quite some time ago, I think we had talked about a potential a hurdle in recruiting other authority employees because of our inability to offer the retirement benefits as a continuation of their service. I think we talked about creating or modifying our policy in that regard. Have we done anything on that?
Yeah, I spoke about that earlier, Commissioner Embarrasson. That's the retiree health benefits. So the attorney drew up an addendum agreement. Embarrassing. He did that back in September. Somehow it fell through my cracks, and I never sent it to the union. That's on me. I sent it today. Thanks to April for having my back and reminding me to put it on as discussion. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I sent it. So I sent it today. When they sign it, assuming they sign it, I think Scott confirmed that they don't have an objection to it. When they sign it, I'll present it to the board hopefully next month. If the board then votes on it, it's now our formal practice. So this way, Scott can Scott can hire, not only put someone not in entry level, but our practice needs to be that if you're in the pension system a certain amount of years and you retire here, you get health benefits. Now the health benefit language, I'm gonna have to work with Eric to finalize that, because Scott brought to my attention, a lot of people want to see it in writing, not just rely on past practice. Our practice is very clear. If you've been here 10 or more years in the pension system and you retire, you're getting your retirement health benefits. But I have been working with Eric. We're going to put something in writing. We have resolution back from 2012, April, or is that 2003? It's
2012, March of 2012.
Yeah, so it's 11 years ago, the board did a resolution that basically says if you're here and you retire, you get it in. But Eric was thinking maybe we should put you have to be here 10 years, and if you retire, age out, you get it. So we're working on that, and this is all going to help our recruitment and our retention.
Joe, if I may, just some clarification. What you sent today, that addendum is only for hiring and pay scale. It doesn't talk about the benefits.
No, you're right. It's not. We have to finalize that with Eric. Commissioner,
I'm sorry.
do you have any other questions?
Oh, No, I was just commenting, Joe, that you and us have been talking about the foreman position and how that came about, and I'm glad to hear that that's all worked out at this point. Good job on that. You and Scott, thank you for
Yeah,
making that happen.
we spent a significant amount of time turning that around and making it happy, making it work, and making everybody happy.
Okay. So other than that, I have a general comment. I recently found out while returning my iPod, which I never even turned it on more than a couple of times. It seems like all the iPads, if all the commissioners have an iPad, it so happens that it also has a cell phone chip. I guess we are paying $40 a month or something like that. So I'm just adding quickly. It's a lot of money for really no use at all. So I just want to bring it up to this board and see whether we should get rid of those cell phone subscriptions for the iPads we all have, or find a better option to connect.
Well, if nobody's using it, we should get rid of it.
That's what I thought. I just returned mine and told April, just kill it. I don't need it.
I don't need mine. Do we have to vote as a board for that?
I think so. I think we should.
Individual.
Yeah, you can just give us instructions. We can follow through.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't have to take a formal vote for that. No.
So was the instructions tonight good enough, April? For
Yeah,
the two
I mean, the
commissioners who spoke up?
instructions are to return them to me, I guess, and I'll deactivate them all.
Okay,
That makes sense.
makes sense.
I'm sorry, I did not hear. Did she say, April, did you say to return the iPad to you? Is that what you
That's,
said?
yes, I'm hearing that the board is not using them and it's not a good use of the funding. So if everyone wants to return them to me, if that's what I'm hearing, Vice Chair, then I'll collect them
Yes.
at your convenience.
But we can use them without the phone, right? So we don't have to return them to you. We just don't need the phone on the iPad. Is there a way to deactivate the phone
Yes,
capability?
cancel the cellular service can be
That's
canceled.
all I need is to
Yeah,
cancel
okay.
the phone
So the
service.
cellular piece would be
Yeah,
disconnected, but we would still have to pay for maintenance, monthly use of having
yeah,
the
I
iPad
use
service
mine.
because of the internet connection.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
use mine.
I'm
Using
sorry.
it
Hold on. April, what did you just say? Say that
We can
again.
talk about it offline, Joe, because that's your area of expertise, and I don't want to go there. But I'll get instructions from Joe on what we need to disconnect
now. Okay.
from his
Okay,
level, and we'll do that.
okay.
I have no further comments. No
Anyone?
construction committee meeting.
Okay. What about municipal liaison? I believe I
No
asked that
updates
question.
here.
Okay, safety, Commissioner Alcazar?
Sorry, what was that?
Is there an update on the safety committee?
There were no accidents or injuries for the month of January.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Accidents are not allowed.
Okay. Let's move on to the consent agenda. The approval of the resolutions will be done by consent agenda. All of the items listed below are considered to be of a routine nature, thereby requiring only one motion and 1 second for all items. If any member wishes to remove an item from the consent agenda, please advise the chair, myself, at this time which resolutions need to be handled separately, and they will be addressed and voted on separately. Move to resolution number -1, payroll account, $152,114.40. Resolution number -2, operating expense account, $548,122.17. Resolution -3, general fund expense account, $526,668.99. Resolution -4, renewal and replacement, $23,319.67. Resolution number -5, escrow fund account, $27,773.25. Do I hear a motion regarding these resolutions?
Motion to approve the consent resolutions.
Second, Jesus.
There a second? Okay. Motion is carried. With regard to any additional resolutions, we'll need a motion for each one. Resolution number -6, the resolution authorizing the renewal of short-term and long-term disability benefits plans with Guardian Life Insurance Company of America for the renewal period of March 1st, 2023 to February 29th, 2024 at the same monthly rates, annual premiums that the authority currently pays for such plans as follows. Short-term disability, a monthly rate of 0.541 over $10, annual premium $12,302, long-term disability monthly rate $232 over $100, annual premium is $3,410. Is there a motion to accept this resolution?
Motion, Jesus.
Second?
Second,
Second.
Ram.
Motion is moved. With regard to resolution number -7, resolution authorizing the execution of a letter of intent and a memorandum of understanding with Public Service Electric and Gas Company to relocate the existing Western Canal Road pump station to property that is owned by PSE&G, located at 472 Western Canal Road in the Township of Franklin, which property is legally designated as Block 517.01, Lot 5.01 on the official tax map, Franklin Township, Somerset County, New Jersey. Is there a motion to accept that resolution?
So move.
Second.
Second. Okay, the motion is moved. Resolution -8, resolution to remove account number 03150.00, located at 600 Franklin Boulevard, Block 234, Lot 1, from billing with an adjustment of $3,697.33 in principal. This address was capped. Is there a motion to accept that resolution? That jumped.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is moved. Resolution -10, resolution authorizing authority to file a treatment works approval application with the state of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, Division of Water Quality for Somerset Street Pumping Station Rehabilitation Project. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion, Jesus.
Second.
Is there a second? The motion is so moved. Resolution -11.
Chairwoman, if I could interrupt you, I think we skipped over 9, which was another capped property.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Resolution -9, resolution to remove account number 10002.00, located at 1 Wiley Drive, block 523.03, lot 35.08, from billing with an adjustment of $7,731.92 in principal. This address was capped. Is there a motion to accept this resolution?
So moved.
Second, Jesus.
Thank you. The motion is moved. I'm going to move on to resolution -11 because I believe we already voted on resolution -10.
Correct.
11, resolution authorizing the the execution of a capacity allocation and developers on-track and off-track agreement with the developer of real property located at 47 Cedar Grove Lane, Somerset, New Jersey. Is there a motion to accept this resolution?
Motion, Jesus.
A second?
Second, Ram.
Thank you. The motion is moved. Is there a motion to open the executive session?
Chairwoman,
Is there a motion?
I'm unaware of any reason to go into executive session.
Okay.
No reason for me, Chairwoman, either.
Okay. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Jesus.
Okay, meeting adjourned. What time? 7:16 p.m.